गोवा से बाहर निकलने के रास्ते बहुत सुंदर है।
गोवा के रास्ते अच्छे नहीं है?
गोवा के रास्ते भी अच्छे हैं। अब घर बुला रहा है इसीलिए रास्ते बहुत ज्यादा सुंदर लग रहे हैं।
तो अभी हम लोग वापस बैंगलोर जा रहे हैं और हम लोग
पेट भर के खाना खाऊंगी।
हम लोग आपको नहीं बोलना मुझको भाई।
Took 2 breaks in between, each of them were 1 hour, so the overall travel time was only 10 hours, and again something similar to like any other IC engine car. This overall return trip was free of cost, only the tolls that we had to pay. Welcome to another video. Today I'll be taking you through the journey back to Bangalore from Goa. This time we took a different route. We were staying in a hotel in Arambol, but on the day we were coming back, we decided to go to Chorla Ghat area. We just wanted to try a restaurant for breakfast, and also there was a Tata 30-watt charger in the Park Hotel, which is right near the beach, where we wanted to charge 200% before we started our journey back to Bangalore.
तो आज गोवा से वापस निकलने का टाइम आ गया है और गोवा से निकलना जैसे हमेशा डिफिकल्ट होता है, तो आज 1 बज गया है। अभी हम लोग कलंगुट एरिया से जस्ट बाहर की तरफ निकल रहे हैं और ट्रैफिक तो आज बहुत ज़्यादा है।
Once we started our journey, it was 1 p.m. on a Sunday, and there was decent amount of traffic on the way because there were people who were traveling within the city or trying to go out of the city. We basically went up to Mapusa, and from there we entered the highway. There was decent amount of traffic, and then from there on we took the exit to go to the Sankilam area. This time we were going to travel through the Chorla Ghats. Before we could reach there, we had to cross the city area. Once we entered the Chorla Ghat was really amazing. The roads were pretty well laid out, and the view was very scenic, and it was a sunny day, so it made it all even better.
गोवा से बाहर निकलने के रास्ते बहुत सुंदर है।
गोवा के रास्ते अच्छे नहीं है?
गोवा के रास्ते भी अच्छे हैं। अब घर बुला रहा है इसीलिए रास्ते बहुत ज्यादा सुंदर लग रहे हैं।
कान तो बंद है, तुम्हारा सफाई कैसे दे रहा है? घर बुला रहे हैं।
नहीं, हमारे कुत्ते बुला रहे हैं।
ये तो बच्चे हैं
वही, पर है तो कुत्ते ही।
मेरे तो बच्चे हैं। है ना गाड़ी? आपके सिस्टर ब्रदर इधर सैमिया इधर।
अभी हम लोग
अभी रास्ता बहुत अच्छा है। अभी वापस
घर जा रहे हैं तो
वापस खरीदेंगे।
The roads were in a good condition until we entered the Karnataka area. Once we entered the Karnataka area, the roads were not too bad, but we felt the roads in within the Goa borders were much better in terms of their quality of the surface. But nonetheless, EVs on the ghats are always a pleasure to drive. With all the immediate power available to us, it was super easy to drive around the corners on the ghats. Even though it was uphill, there was a higher energy consumption, but it was seamless to overtake the other cars while going uphill. This road was very scenic. The views on both the sides were really great. We were going from mountain to mountain, crossing the overall ghat area. We did try to stop in one of the viewpoints, but the sun was glaring from the opposite side, so the view was not so great. But then, as you can see, once we entered the Karnataka area, the road conditions slightly deteriorated. Still can't really complain about that, but it was fun to drive there.
तो अभी हम लोग वापस बैंगलोर जा रहे हैं और हम लोग अभी रास्ते में हैं। अभी बहुत सारा टाइम में सोने भी होगा और हम लोग अभी कहीं रोकेंगे गाड़ी और फिर हम लोग खाने कहीं रुकेंगे।
खाने के लिए
हम लोग खाने के लिए जहाँ पे एक स्टेज है वहाँ पे हम लोग अक्षरा होटल जाएंगे अभी खाने के लिए और मैं वहाँ पे डांस करूँगी थोड़ी देर के लिए जब तक खाना आएगा। और हम लोग
तुम्हें पेट भर के खाना खाओगी?
हम लोग आपको नहीं बोले मुझको
To get to the NH48 highway, we had to cross a small section where the roads were not really great. It was a single lane highway, so narrow again that if a vehicle was coming from the opposite side, one has to at least get down from the road to let the other one pass. Curvv EV proved its worth here. It is not just a fancy EV, but also proved to be a capable SUV which can take up the rugged roads with its suspension easily. We drove at a pretty good speed through the rough roads. The suspensions were really great throughout. We did not hear much of the noise from outside. The suspensions were quiet and comfortable. This really helped us in making sure we are sticking to the schedule, and even though we left little late from Goa, we were able to get to the highway within a couple of hours. Basically, we did not want to cross this area when it was dark, and also we were traveling for the first time on this, so I wanted to cross this during the daylight time. Curvv EV also has the low rolling resistance tires, which was really impressive on these roads. Given it is 18-inch and low resistance tires, I had a fear that it might be too bumpy on such kind of a rough roads, but it worked pretty well, and it was basically gliding through all the potholes and the rough patches of the road without worrying much. Finally, we were able to join NH48, and from then on, NH48 is that 6-lane highway where the speed limit is 100. Even though it was Sunday, the traffic was not too bad. We were able to stick to the speed limits and cover some of the time that we would be spending during charging. We have usually crossed Dharwad and Hubbali area through the bypass, which is still under construction, and there is two-way traffic with a lot of trucks. This time, given we were going to charge within Hubbali in one of the malls, which has a Tata power charger of 60 kilowatt, we decided to go through the city route. Again, we were taking this for the first time. As expected, there was city traffic. Given it was a Sunday evening, it was around 5 p.m. by the time we reached there. It took us a total of 4 hours. We covered about 200 kilometers during this time. The city traffic was not too bad. At least there were no trucks that were on the way. We reached the mall where the charger is around at 5 p.m. Given it was a 60 kilowatt charger, it was a quick charge. And there were food options, so we went to KFC, Pizza Hut, some of those places.
ये रहा हम लोगों का पहला स्टॉप. हम लोग चल चुके हैं कुछ 5 घंटे 200 किलोमीटर और 25% बैटरी के साथ रेंज दिखा रहा है 109. हम लोग पहुंच चुके हैं टाटा के चार्जर में 60 किलोवाट का, जो कि है हुबली में एक मॉल के अंदर. एंड मैंने स्टार्ट किया था ये ट्रिप 8:30 से, तो 200 किलोमीटर चले हम लोग.
And we started from there around at 6 p.m. with about 95% of charge. Again, we did not charge to 100% because the last 5%, even on the fast charger, takes a long time. So we did not want to wait more. We were done with our food, so we decided to, take the car as is. Once we started from there, our next stop was another 200 odd kilometers away. This time we had again decided to give another chance to Akshara Hotel, where we had tried to stop on our way to Goa. But it was closed at that time. Given the charger was working fine, so we decided to again stop at Akshara Hotel. While we were leaving Hubbali, there was a challenge because there was some constructions going on in the Hubbali area. We couldn't figure out the straight way to get to the highway, so we had to take a little detour. We figured out the way, and soon we were back on the highway NH48. It was kind of dark by that time, and the traffic was kind of increasing. There were a lot more trucks than it was earlier. But still it was not too bad, and we were able to cruise near the speed limits and cover the distance pretty comfortably.
So, पंगे लेने की पुरानी आदत जा नहीं रही है. अभी टोटल एनर्जी बचा है 17%. डिस्टेंस में एम्प्टी दिखा रहा है 51 किलोमीटर, और अभी हमारा जाना बाकी है 21 किलोमीटर्स, 24 किलोमीटर्स इन 21 मिनट्स. फिर से देखते हैं कि आप परफॉर्मेंस मोड, लिमिटेड परफॉर्मेंस मोड लगता है या नहीं. बट यहाँ पर भी 60 किलोवाट का चार्जर है, तो पहुँच गए बिना उसके तो ग्रेट. नहीं पहुँचे तो फिर टॉर्टाइज मोड में जाएंगे 50 की स्पीड पे.
We took the detour to get to our charger in Akshara Hotel. We had skipped some of the other hotels which were kind of bigger and had other chargers. We wanted to give another chance to Akshara Hotel. But it was pretty late by the time we got there. It was around 9 p.m. We plugged in the charger. It worked pretty fine. Overall, the charging took about 1 hour. But the restaurant ambience was not such that we would want to have any food there. So we just decided to have some coffee, given we still had about another 200 kilometers to go. On the way back, we did not make the same mistake as we did while going. So we decided to take the satellite ring road instead of going through the city traffic, crossing Tumkur, Nelmangla, and then through the outer ring road in the city. The map was showing that is a faster route, but given it was pretty late, around 11 p.m. by the time we reached that area, I knew that the outer ring road would be shut for construction and we would have to take the service lane, which is also shared by other bigger trucks and so on. We decided to take the turn after Tumkur, and we got onto the satellite ring road. The satellite ring road is again a 6-lane highway for the most part of it, speed limit of 100, and usually there is no traffic. It's a pretty new road, not many people use that, and also it's in pretty great condition. The toll is on the higher side. This one was about 115 rupees for one way, which is more expensive as compared to the other route. But we were ready to pay this premium because the road conditions are pretty great and there was no traffic. This road takes us directly to Hoskote, crossing the complete city and entering Bangalore from the northeast side. And this works pretty great for us because where we live is on the Old Madras Road. And from here it is about 10 kilometers on the highway to get to the satellite ring road. Once we reached Hoskote, there was a little bit of traffic given it's the city limits, but not too intrusive that it would really slow us down. And given we had taken this route, we were again able to reach home around 1 a.m. Which is like we technically started from Goa only at 1 p.m. After having our breakfast or late breakfast. Took 2 breaks in between, each of them were 1 hour. So the overall travel time was only 10 hours, and again something similar to like any other IC engine car. Overall we were on the road for 12 hours. Here is the summary of our trip. We took 2 stops for charging in between. One was at the KFC in Hubli, and the next charging stop was Akshara. We took a quick restroom break in between at Hotel NH Grand. Now coming to the overall trip, so this was a round trip of about 1500 kilometers. Overall energy consumption was pretty high because the last part was specifically uphill and at a high speed. So here is a detailed summary of our return trip. We checked out our hotel at 10 a.m. We reached the restaurant in Kalangut at 11 a.m. There we spent about 2 hours charging and having our brunch. From there we started at 1 with 100% charge. And again, given that was a Tata charger, that was free of cost. From there, we traveled for 4 hours to get to the next charger, which was at 5 p.m. in Hubli. There again, it was a 60 kilowatt charger in the mall. Our break was total of 1 hour. We charged till about 95% there. We started at 6 p.m. from there. The next charger we reached in 3 hours, again covering about 200 kilometers. This was again a Tata power charger, 60 kilowatt. In Akshara hotel. The ambience wasn't great, so we did not really have any food. The charging break was for about 1 hour, and then we again started on our way back to Bangalore at 10 p.m. We reached home with about 11% of battery left. Overall range was pretty low given it was a consistent high-speed travel, as there was not much traffic on the satellite ring road. Overall, this trip was uphill and high speed, so the average range that we got was pretty low. But the good part is, given the Tata's free charging offer, this overall return trip was free of cost, only the tolls that we had to pay. The usual cost would be somewhere around 16 to 1700, assuming a 15 rupee per kilowatt charge. There are some other charges which are higher, somewhere around 21 or 23. You can do the calculations likewise. But regardless, it is going to be close to 1 to 2 rupees per kilometer and way cheaper than any other IC engine. And overall, this trip was really fun. On this trip, I drove Curvv EV like any other car and wasn't really conservative at all. I'm really happy with the performance of the car, be it the ghat roads, uphills, the rough roads, or the highway cruising. It was really comfortable driving this around, and given its ADAS and adaptive cruise control, long trips has become really easy on the Curvv EV.
That is all in this video. Do let me know in the comments if you have any questions. For more such rare experiences, please do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep driving, keep safe. Thank you.